Good morning. I would usually say good morning, welcome to the porch, but we're not doing this video on the porch this morning. We decided to come out in the wilderness area and do some video work. And this is a place called Longpool. It's in the state of Arkansas. One of many beautiful places to come to in Arkansas if you're ever through here. If you just want to do a little camping and get some quiet time. And in the summertime, this place is full of swimmers and people having a good time. So it's a good place to be. And it's really quiet today because it's cold and nobody's out here camping or swimming or anything, obviously. But anyway, I wanted to start this video out with just a train of thought. The other day I was just sitting looking at a river, and it wasn't this river, it was another one. But as I was looking at the river, one of the things that kind of came across my mind is I'm sitting there meditating, staring at this thing, and the thought come across my mind, what do you see? And I thought, water. And then the next thought came across my mind, and I realized that it wasn't just water I was looking at. Beneath that water was a whole world, a whole ecosystem, fish, clams, snails, crayfish, microscopic animals, just a lot of life beneath the surface of that water that I was looking at. Now, you know, nature teaches things if we'll just get quiet and listen, and it's a good thing to do. It's healthy for our minds. But at any rate, as I thought about that, there was a question came to my mind, and that question was, what would happen if that water quits running? And then I thought, well, those animals would start to die. The water would get stagnant, and the more animals that died, the worse stagnant the water would get, and the more animals would die after that, till eventually there wouldn't be anything left. Everything would die and perish. And I wanted to start that thought with this small segment of video before we go to the next segment of video. And I want to talk to you about that because it has a lot to do with us and our mind. We're about to move into the subject matter of this video. I just wanted to show you that little thing up front to kind of set the stage for what we're going to talk about today. You know, I talked about how if that river stopped running, that everything in it would die. Well, you know, that's one of the things you learn from nature. Whether it's a river or anything else, if it stops moving, it tends to die eventually. And we are a part of nature, and our minds are a part of nature. Now, having said that, if we quit using our minds, they begin to perish. And you get to where you don't think is good, you get to where you don't remember is good because you're not exercising your mind. And a lot of times this happens with people as they get older. Now, eventually there's some health issues that can come into play here, but I'm just talking about some things that we can actually do maintenance on and change and have a longer and more healthy life. And if you're younger, the benefits of exercising your mind is that you're smarter, you're quicker on your feet when it comes to thinking. And in the job world, that's important. And I've had some very good experiences in that because I've always kept my mind sharp and always exercised it. So if we think about this just a few minutes, anything that has to do with our well-being is up to us as individuals to do something to make that work better. And I want to talk to you a little bit about exercising the mind. It's very important to do that. If you want to stay sharp for longer, it's very important to do that. And I want to share with you just a few of the things that I've learned over the years to help you, the listener, maybe implement some of these things in your life, and hopefully it will bless you and strengthen you and help you do better in your life. Now, one of the things that I like to do is I like to do research, and that kind of keeps my mind sharp. But in the mornings, I normally start my morning out on a spiritual side of it, and I pray just for a few minutes. I don't pray long periods of time, but I pray for a few minutes, just get my spiritual side of me kind of in line with my daily activities. And then I usually either read or sometimes I'll watch videos on particular subjects. And, here's an interesting thing. I'm telling you, we live in one of the best times you could live in that technology has brought so many good things to us. There's no reason for people to be dumb. There's no reason for people not to have a sharp mind. That's a matter of choice. But you can watch a lot of things on videos that are educational things. One of the things I like to do, and I'm trying to learn how to do videos and things like that. And I didn't know much about this stuff when I started. Still don't know a lot, but I know a lot more than I did. Is I take 15 to 30 minutes and I just go online and listen to some of those ladies and gentlemen that teach you about videos and stuff. And I think that's great. I'm very thankful for those people and appreciate what they do because they've helped me to understand how to do these videos better. And so I'm getting smarter in that area and exercising my mind. I particularly like Stoic philosophy, and I try to take 15 minutes, maybe even as much as a half hour sometimes, and just listen to Stoic philosophy because it helps develop the mind to think in a certain way, to understand how to be calm and some things like that. And I do take, there's a spiritual side of me, and sometimes I'll take 15, 20 minutes to either read spiritual literature or even watch videos. There's tons of good spiritual videos on YouTube and places like that, and help me to grow spiritually and continue to keep that part of my life up. But as we go, we exercise our mind, and much like that river, it keeps flowing, it keeps moving, and our mind stays alive. Now, if you don't exercise your mind, I can assure you, you are not going to do as well as you could do if you exercise it. Now, I want to say this quickly because it's important. As you're taking in information, make sure and take in information that's good for you. You can go on the many different social media programs and you can get about anything you want to see. You can see bad things, things that'll rot your mind, I guess is the best word I could use for it, things that'll lead you in places that are untrue. It's your responsibility to do the research and understand what is true and what is not true. And there's a lot of not true things out there right now, but there's still a lot of true things. You have to sort out the difference and put those things in your mind and you utilize those things, and the things that are wrong, get rid of. If you're listening to something that's frustrating you or bringing you wrong information, it's a poison. Get it out as fast as you can. I got to notice something. It's been a pretty good while back, but I got to notice something. I would start out my day watching the news. I thought, I've been an old man. I thought, well, start out your day watching the news and having your coffee. I got to noticing that I got frustrated easy. I got to notice things didn't go as good for me, and then it occurred to me. Well, I say it occurred to me. My wife made sure it occurred to me. We were talking about that. She said, well, you start out your day watching that news and stuff, and said, there ain't nothing you're going to find on that that's any good to you. It just aggravates you. You lose hope listening to that news sometimes. And she was right. So I said, and I do like listening to news occasionally, but I don't very much. I listen to it a little bit. I try to be very careful to weed out the bad stuff. If it's just nothing but negative stuff, and that's a lot of the news, unfortunately, I try to weed that out because that's not going to help me anyway. It's not going to help you. Now, having said that, I think about, what can you do to make your mind stay sharp? And sometimes you need to deal with the emotional side of your mind. And I want to just share one little experience with you that I've learned, and it's helped me a lot. Sometimes at night, I will listen to some very relaxing music, or I may even watch some stand-up comedy. I try to make sure I get clean stuff that's not got a bunch of old nasty stuff in it that I don't need or want to hear. And sometimes I'll go on YouTube and just watch some of the funny videos they put out that just cause you to laugh. Either way it goes, when you go to sleep at night, it just seems to help you a whole lot. share with you a quick experience that just recently came up with my wife and I. She'd come in from work. Now I'm retired, and so I just work and do the things I want to do. You know, I still work every day, all day long. I'm working today, and it's Saturday. But anyway, she came in from work, and she was stressed out. It's been a hard day, and that happens when you're around people all day long. You can get stressed out. And I seen her sitting there on the couch, and she told me she was stressed out, and I could just see the look on her face. And I didn't say anything. I just walked over and got the remote and turned on TV and turned on a stand-up comedy show. And I don't guess it was 5 minutes. And I heard her, and she was just cackling and laughing, just belly laughing. Took a stress situation, and within 5 minutes turned it into laughter. Now, this is a part of managing our minds. This is a part of making sure that our minds stay healthy. And I want to leave you with this. Your mind is important. It drives everything else you do. And if you're around the wrong kind of people and wrong things, your mind's going to go in the wrong direction. Don't believe everything you hear. Test it. And if it's not true, kick it out of your mind. Don't let that stuff live there. Don't let it live there. It'll just contaminate and rot your mind like that river that quits flowing. Let good things flow in and out of your mind so that they'll do good for you. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up right now. I'm still up in the wilderness area. You can see the background back there. It's beautiful. And I'm going to go out and do a little bit of photography here in a few minutes. But I appreciate you listening. I hope that I've said something that will help you to maintain your health. And so God bless you guys, and love you, and see you later.